Something has just come out about Katie Price's husband that changes the tone of this story again. Because this time, it's not just another claim. It's not just another allegation. It's not even coming from a stranger. It's coming from someone who knew him closely. And what's been revealed sounds very different to everything we've been told so far. More on that in a minute. Because once you hear what he is said to have admitted, you start to understand why people are now asking a much bigger question. Will Katie Price actually listen? Let's break this down properly, because this is where things take a turn. Lee Andrews' ex-fiancée has now shared messages that she claims came directly from him. Messages where he appears to admit something very serious. Not in a vague way, not indirectly, but in his own words. According to those messages, he said he had used a woman to his advantage, that he had played on her feelings, and that it was hard for him to admit it. Now stop there for a second, because that matters a lot. Because for weeks now, the narrative around Lee has been very clear. Deny everything, dismiss everything, push back on every claim. But this is different. This is an alleged admission. And if those messages are genuine, it becomes a turning point, because it suggests that behind all the denials, there may have been something else going on. Now let's look at the wider context. Because this doesn't exist on its own. There is already a serious claim from another woman, Crystal Janke, who says she handed over around $123,000 on the promise of a huge return, close to $1 million. An investment opportunity that, according to her, never materialized. Lee has denied wrongdoing, but again, the pattern matters, because now you have a woman claiming a large financial loss, another woman sharing messages suggesting emotional manipulation, and a relationship timeline that overlaps, because it's been reported that Lee was involved with more than one woman at the same time. Proposals, promises, declarations, all happening in close proximity. And when you look at that, it raises serious questions. Because this isn't just about money, it's about behavior. Now let's go back to those messages, because the wording is key. He is said to have admitted that what he did was not his character, that he used someone to his advantage, that he played on feelings, and that it cost him another relationship. That is not a small statement. That is not something you can easily brush off. And this is where the tone of the entire situation shifts. Because up until now, everything could be framed as allegations, claims, stories. But when there is an alleged admission like that, it lands differently, it hits harder, and it forces people to reevaluate everything. Now add in another layer. Because there are also claims about his business. Paperwork suggesting that a company connected to him was dissolved. Contradicting claims that it is still active. Again, two different versions of reality. And once again, it feeds into the same pattern. Now here's where this becomes even more complicated. Because all of this is happening while Katie Price continues to defend him. Publicly, confidently, repeatedly. She has said she trusts him. She has said she has seen proof. She has dismissed concerns. And she has asked people to just be happy for her. But now, with this latest development, that position becomes harder to maintain. Because this isn't just noise anymore. This is specific, detailed, and coming from someone who was directly involved. Which brings us back to the key question. Will she listen? Because at this point, the warnings are not subtle. They are not hidden. They are not coming from one place. They are coming from multiple directions. From former partners, from people who say they've had dealings with him, from inconsistencies in his own claims, and now, from messages that suggest he himself may have acknowledged certain behavior, and yet, nothing seems to be changing. Katie is still fully committed, still defending, still moving forward, and that's where people are starting to feel uneasy, Because when the volume of concern reaches this level, ignoring it becomes a decision. Now let's talk about timing. Because this is happening very quickly. The relationship, the marriage, the escalation, and now, the revelations. There hasn't been time for things to settle, to be understood, to be properly assessed. Everything is happening at speed. And when things move that fast, it's easy to miss warning signs. It's easy to overlook details. It's easy to focus on how something feels instead of what it actually is. And that's why this moment matters. Because this is the point where things slow down, where people take a step back, where the bigger picture becomes impossible to ignore. And that's what's happening now. Because this is no longer just about one story. It's about a series of stories, a series of claims, a series of contradictions, all pointing in the same direction. Now, to be fair, Lee denies wrongdoing. That has to be stated clearly. These are allegations. These are claims. And not everything has been proven. But when you have this many questions, this many overlapping accounts, and now alleged messages like this, it changes how people see the situation. Because at some point, it stops being coincidence and starts looking like something else. And that's where this story becomes difficult to ignore, because it's not just about what's been said. It's about what keeps coming out, piece by piece. And every time something new appears, it adds another layer, another reason for concern, another reason for people to ask, what is really going on here? And more importantly, why is nothing changing? Because that's the part that stands out. Despite everything, the relationship continues, the defense continues, the momentum continues, and that's why this question is getting louder. Will Katie Price listen? Or will this continue until something forces a change? Because here's the part that feels different now. This isn't just noise anymore. This isn't just headlines competing for attention. This is detail, specific detail, alleged messages, overlapping timelines, multiple people telling very similar stories. And when that starts to happen, it becomes much harder to dismiss. Because patterns don't appear by accident. They build, slowly at first, then all at once. And that's exactly what this feels like right now. Like everything is starting to come together, which is why people are watching more closely than ever. Not just waiting for the next claim, but waiting to see what happens next. Because if this continues, the pressure only goes one way. And at some point, that pressure has to land somewhere. If you want more sharp, clear breakdowns of the biggest UK celebrity stories, subscribe now. Because in this situation, it's no longer about one claim. It's about a pattern that's becoming harder to ignore.